Taurus, in the month of March 2023, the Lord of your sky, Venus, is going to love you up by coming into your sign, spending some time there, making you feel wealthy, healthy, beautiful, and lovable. Whilst Lord Saturn, moving into Pisces, gives her some cheerleading as well, getting a lot of good financial gain going on in your life, especially from your work, and even some love from friends. But there's a lot more than that going on because Lord Saturn is moving out of your 10th house of career where things have felt hard, your reputation has felt challenge over the last 3 years, and Pluto is giving you some extra new ambition, power, and wealth in your career as he does his once every 248-year journey into your Gemini 10th house. This is a lot of change. Every sign's getting a longer video this month, about half an hour, because I don't know how I can cover all of this without a longer video. So let's dive into March of 2023 for Taurus Sun Moon, more accurately rising sign. So what I want to start off with, I want to say, you've been through a lot because you've had Uranus in the house of you since 2018 March, making you change your identity, change your sense of self, have radical redefinitions of your character, the I am blank. You've been under renovation with electrical charges and you're fixed. Taurus is an earth sign and a fixed earth sign, meaning you kind of like the way you are. You don't want to change. You're like, this is me. This is who I am. A lot of Tauruses will always have that expression, like I'm always somebody who, and they consider like they're stuck or fixed in their character often, whereas in fact they're not. And all it takes is something like Uranus moving through Taurus to really show you that your fluidity is there when it comes to your character and identity changing. Second of all, you have had eclipses since all of 2022, midway through 23, jolting and jostling and amplifying this sense of electrified change and intensity around your sense of self. For some of you, it has led to challenges in your marriage or significant love relationships, business dealings, and legal contracts. So you're coming out of the end of some of that intensity this summer. But the month of March is the first sense of a breaking through what has been an honestly challenging last few months. Let's talk about Saturn to start, because this is a big deal. And then we'll get to that Venus love up. All right. Before we get to all of this for the month of March, if you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I'm a whole sign house Hellenistic astrologer using the Western tropical zodiac. This is not sidereal. Second of all, if you would like to like my channel, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. It helps the channel grow. But more importantly, I'm having all these giveaway contests at every new 1,000 subscribers. And I've given away at least 24 gifts in the last 3 or 4 months. You want to be one of those people get a free reading or free access to any of my courses. You want to be on the notifications bell so that you know when I'm going to go into a live premiere, and you may be entered in those contests. Finally, I teach astrology, Sky Reader. Be your own astrologer, time your best life. Third time I'm teaching this 8-week class, and it's coming up in March. And if you want to get into that, get on the wait list, check the link below. And finally, Patreon gets all of my videos ad-free, early access, everything you see on YouTube. They get ahead of you and they don't have to listen to ads, and it's $5 a month. So you might want to consider that as an option. You can quit anytime. And also for $5 a month, you have discount codes for classes and readings with me, as well as you get to meet me in a live private Zoom, like group Zoom call for everybody in the Patreon community. It's interactive. It's not like I'm just lecturing you. And so if that interests you at all, you might want to jump in. All this stuff is in the description box about my channel, my website, etc. Let's get going and talk some more then about you. All right, Taurus. So in your natal sky this year, Saturn on March 7th does this once every 30-year movement into, and out of your intensity of your 10th house of career and into your 11th house of great gains. Now, for some of you, Saturn 3 years now in your 10th house has made your reputation and career a hardship of some kind. You've been feeling tired, beleaguered, defensive, anxious, and concerned. For others, this may, especially rising sign, have been a time of accomplishment, mastery, and authority. For some of you, though, it could have spelled the end, the grim reaper of a career path as you're getting ready to start something new. What is a career if you're a student? You're a student. What is your career if you're a stay-at-home parent? You're a stay-at-home parent. It's your actions in the world that people see you doing. So it doesn't have to be you work at IBM or something like that. Now, the second thing I want to mention here is that you have this energy of this, movement of Saturn out of the 10th house into your 11th. So there's 2 stories that will happen. Saturn on March 7th, moving into your 11th house of good spirit, staying there until February of 26. Long story short, go check my longer videos. You will either up-level your financial gain from a chosen career as you become more authoritative, masterful, and successful, and people in places of power and authority, Saturn, will reach out to support you, and you'll have favors and benefits from those types of people. You could even get promoted with this. However, if you didn't like the career you're on or the path you were on has come to its close, then this is like the beginning of the new stuff. And so Saturn here will put you in touch with the people, the connections, the social groups, the networks, and favors from those people to up-level you into something new. Now, I can relate to this transit too, because it wasn't that long ago that I experienced the Saturn through my 10th house transit. And for me, it was a shifting away from a career, not a up-leveling to the top of a pile. So it's up to you. You know your life best, but Saturn in the 11th house of good spirit isn't a good house. And he's in Pisces, which is neutrally dignified. So you're definitely looking at some possibilities of people in power wanting to support you, new groups of belonging with people in more authority, but you also lose some friends. Over the next 3 years, Saturn will winnow down and pare down and shift you away from your old friendship groups. And sometimes it's like you decide to quit the club or, cut out of some kind of group of belonging that no longer suits you. He's leaning you out in the friendships. For me, I lost a few friends during that transit, unfortunately, like they died basically. Sorry, man, like life happens. But for the most part, it might be more like you just don't want to belong anymore to those groups of friends and you decide to check out. And so sometimes as you move to a new place where you have no friends and so you have to start over, these kinds of things, right? A sense of isolation in a house of large groups of friends, or some leaning out or separation from friends coming up maybe in the next 3 years for a lot of Taurus sun, moon, and rising sign. Sometimes I've seen it in my real client charts as a geographical relocation. So the next thing I want to bring up for you guys is that you are going to experience Pluto moving into your 10th house. Once every 248 years, you coded to live. Pluto 10th house transit, as Pluto will move through the 10th house of your Aquarian sky with a tiptoe in this March the 23rd. Yeah. And leaving there again on June 11th to go back to Capricorn, where he had been, by the way, since 2008, your 9th house of God, truth, religion, higher education, etc., legal and court matters. Having Pluto in 2024 decide he's going to eventually stay in your 10th house means that what you're experiencing May the 23rd to June 11th is a teaser. It's a taste, it's a vibe, it's a feeling of what it's like to have all this power in your career house and reputation. So for some of you, this is going to really power you up in the next decade to transform, to make extra large and big and powerful and wealthy. Your career path is a lot of juice in the top of your sky. It is the house of the father in Vedic astrology, and so there could be some power Pluto issues going on with father or father-like figures or people in authority, power struggles even, so March, April, May, June, but then think about that as a 20-year lesson plan because it doesn't end until 2044. So consider that as well. If you are a Taurus rising sun or moon, but more accurately rising, born within the first 3 degrees of Taurus ascendant, then you're really feeling this first taste of Pluto, right? Because he's only going to travel to the 0 degrees. So you really get a sense of it. You Taurus risings had Jupiter and Saturn sort of christen your career house back in December 21st, 2020, giving you a kind of 20-year run of go this way, red carpet roll up. This is the area of success. Focus here. Okay. And now Pluto's coming in to back it up. So consider that this is a good time for the younger Tauruses who aren't retired out to look at like real ambition and success within the field of some endeavor you would call your career path. Don't forget the sun and the moon could be father, mother, sun, moon, mother, Pluto squaring your moon in the first 3 degrees of Taurus, or son, father. These are issues with your mom and dad or father, mother figures in your life. Okay, not all about you. That's why we look at the rising sign. In my description box, you can look at my How to Cast Your Chart in Whole Sign Houses freebie to do your own astrology chart using free online software and using the Whole Sign House system, which I highly, highly recommend. And then you'll know your ascendant if you don't know it already. I have a lot of freebies in my description box below, so check it out. Also, excuse me, I have a snuffly nose today for some reason. I'm looking at the sky thinking, wait, oh yeah, so moving on, Mars. So let's talk about Mars. Another big planetary change this month. We talked about Pluto, we talked about Saturn. Let's talk about Mars. You know, Mars has been in a rare 7 month stay, and that is rare, in Gemini, which for you guys is your second house of money, earnings. You could have had to go to battle over money, stand up for yourself financially. You may have sold possessions in order to make money. You may have bought possessions and it was like, oh, I spent more money than I ever have. Mars in your second house of earnings, resources, and possessions is often quite the spender. So you might have felt like money was going through your fingers somehow since August of last year. And that's going to finish in March on the 26th of the month. However, Mars isn't just here spending money or making money a battle or challenging you around your self-worth and values around money and earnings. He's also here to do something else, eliminate anything that you eat, drink, ingest that's not good for you. Yes, it's time to let go of the vaping, the cigarettes, the alcohol, the gluten, the ice cream every night, whatever it is that you know that you're not supposed to be doing. It's time to exit stage left. So he's a god of elimination. A lot of you may have been experimenting with letting go of an addiction, changing your food style. With Jupiter in Aries in your house of things that you undo you. For a lot of Taurus, Sun, Moon, mostly rising, but all of you, it is an ideal window of time in March. The last, until we don't get Mars back here working with Jupiter in your 12th house of self-undoing, like this for another 12 years. So it's the duration of time that Mars spent in your second house of what you need to eliminate from things you put in your mouth. It's so important. So look at this March until about the 26th as your last chance to get it right. Also, surgeries, oral surgeries, facial surgeries, dermabrasion. Mars might have gotten you to do some of that during his extraordinary 7 months in your first house of the face. Hang on. I need to put my socks on. First it's hot in my house, and then it's cold in my house. Next, fighting verbally. Mars is in the house of speech, and he's got sharp swords of words. You may have been very argumentative and combative or aggressive, or even more warrior hero champion-y in things that you're here to, speak into the world. Now, I am moving a lot. For the troll who says I move around too much, I need to put my socks on. So excuse me. Go to a channel where the person is a talking stiff head, and that's not my channel. All right, I move. Sometimes I even eat tangerines on the set. All right. So going back to the thing I covered, yeah, so Mars, last chance to get over your addictions, last time to also shore up some kind of finances that you need to do, but it might require a lot of willpower and a lot of effort and a lot of sort of combat energy, right? Get your combat boots on and fight for what is yours, fight for the thing that you possess that you want to keep, that kind of thing. This is, finally, that's over on March 26th, and then, he'll begin a journey through your third house, but that will be mostly for next month's video. Could open up some travel opportunities in the 6 weeks that follow, starting March 26th onward. Moving into other stories, let's talk about Venus and Mercury. Let's start with Mercury and then go to your Lord Venus, because she's your woman, she's your planet, she's your helmsman of your chart, most important planet for a Taurus rising, and secondarily Sun and Moon. Let's talk Mercury first. On March the 3rd through to the 19th, Mercury is moving through the sign of Pisces, and that's your 11th house of good spirit, where Saturn is going to also arrive on the 7th. So there's a lot going on up there. You may have news, emails, phone calls, and messages coming through people in power who are allies and friends during the 3rd to the 18th. That could be very, very busy time for you. You may make some financial gains from your career. Mercury can do that, or have good news around raises and promotions, or money issues, especially money issues connected to banks, taxes, inheritances, even to some degree legal matters to involve courts or legal contracts. Then on March the 19th to April the 4th, that's my birthday, April 4th, on March 19th to the April 4th, what you end up having here is Mercury moving into the next sign, which is, of course, Aries. Now, it's a very subtle place. Unless you're doing marketing, merchandising, and selling from foreign shores and foreign lands, unless you have customers around the world or something like that, or you're traveling for business, then this is going to look a lot like, which is what it could do, you'll amplify that part of your life, then it can look like getting really important dream messages, because Mercury is the dream messenger. He would come to people to deliver the messages of the gods in your dreams, and you can use that in the 12th house because it's an It's an unconscious house. It's your, like, when you're meditating or you have insights or reveries or daydreams or trance states or nighttime dreams. So messages from the god of synchronicity can come through dreams and meditations and all of that during that window. And the types of messages he would give you may have to do with how you could make money from foreign lands, but also release yourself from self-undoing and self-sabotaging habits and addictions and stuff like that. And he will be there, right, helping you with that March 19th to the end of the month. And remember that you also have Jupiter helping you with that, also in your 12th house. And you will also have Mars there until the 26th of March, making kind of like March the 19th, the 26th, supercharged energy for cutting out the bad habit, addiction, self-undoing thing that you do, or up-leveling your money from foreign shores, foreign lands, and trips and travel connected to those themes. All of those are more true March the 19th to the 26th, when you have support from Jupiter, support from Mercury, and support from Mars moving direct. All right. Venus is your planet. She's the lord of your sign. So you ought to watch what she does in the sky. She moves through most signs in a year, right? She's a fast mover. But you ought to be talking about her in your own mind at all times, because she has the most say. Like, hey, what about this summer when she spends 4 months in Leo? OMG, talk about an important time for you. That's your 4th house of home real estate, June to October. What are you doing? Renovating, building, moving, decorating? Having love in the home, loving your home. I don't know, but it's really good for your home life this summer, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. Beautiful new home, love in the home, a woman visiting you in your home, that kind of thing. And that's a rare 4-month stay this summer, so it's important. But anyway, in the shorter arc of time, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, anyone, through to April 11th, she's back in Taurus. That's your home sign. That's you. She's in your sign. She's in your house of your identity, your body, your sense of self. This is your once a year Venusian lava. I am beautiful, persuasive, seductive. I love myself. I look good. I feel good. I got my new haircut, my new wardrobe, all of that stuff. So think about yourself, loving yourself up, but also other people finding you lovable. And you're more beautiful than you normally are. And anything to do with your health can improve as well. So that's happening for you. Beautiful, handsome, whatever. That's definitely a story that you want to pay attention to, starting on March the 7th and 17th and going through to April the 11th. And she can bonify your health, okay? Make you feel more like vital and beautiful and love yourself as well. It's really the ideal, like get a new wardrobe, get your hair done, beautify yourself time as well. But if you want to persuade people like of something, if you want to convince people, if you want to be sort of seductive or persuasive, when Venus is in your 1st house, you're on steroids with how persuasive and seductive and convincing you can be. You could definitely use that charm offensive that's going to be yours starting March 17th all the way through to April the 11th to simply get what you want. Why the heck not? In fact, Venus is going to be working with Saturn, and that's like enduring love, enduring beauty, lasting love, lasting beauty, quality love, quality beauty, to name a few, quality art, whatever, those themes. Now, this is because Saturn is in your 11th house after March the 7th, and then Venus from the 17th to the 11th is making connections with that Saturn. We're going to go into some exact dates for that in a minute, but just as a broad theme, you've got Saturn support for Venus. And if you meet somebody new for dating under this transit, it will likely be through a friendship or social circle, Saturn in your 11th, leading to a lasting love. All right. But you might be the one who initiates because Venus is in your sign, in your demure way, though, like, batting your eyes across the coffee shop or in the friendship circle at some guy or girl that you're interested in. It could start, if any relationship starts under a Saturn Venus sextile, it will be a friendship, a lasting relationship, an easy relationship, a fun relationship, maybe even just a very light feeling between the two of you, maybe flirty and fun. Even though Saturn isn't normally fun, but this sextile has that in it. Could be with somebody older as well than you by at least 6 or 7 years. All right. If you're single, that's a prediction for you. And if you're not, or younger than you by 6 to 7 years. And if you're not single and you have a relationship already, it cements it a bit more. Okay. So what else do I want to tell you? A big picture story. I'm working on the big picture. Then we're narrowing the story down. Hang on. And we're going to go chronological. I think we might go chronological. Let's do the chronology. Starting off with the boom in the beginning of March. You'll feel this the last 4 days of February. And then boom, the first 2 or 3 days of March, you have a Venus conjunct Jupiter in Aries. Now, these two benefics coming together in your 12th house could be about some kind of legacy wealth, mortgage, tax rebate, some good news on the financial front from money you could generate from overshores, overseas, or selling property or buying and selling a stock. But it's a good lucky vibe. And you also may have an opportunity educationally that's really popping for you, or some good positive news about educational opportunities or things like getting an A in school, especially higher education, or having an opening to you of great note, like a scholarship or some offer in the educational world. Just Venus, Jupiter, March, the 1st and 2nd. And that's exciting, but it's also very soft energy for you because it is your 12th house. It's not that directly hitting you personally. Then Sun will sextile Saturn. It's kind of a surprising, exciting development of some kind. Could be connected to work or purpose, might just be in general something you need to pay attention to, because it's in your house of good spirit, or friends and allies or great gains from your career. Could be a raise, a promotion, bonus points on the great gains of career game board, someone in power surprising you with a favor, some solar figure, a boss, a leader, surprising you with something good that flows towards you in a positive manner financially, or just a feel good energy. But it is surprising because you have Uranus there. And I'm not nervous. Another person, you're so nervous. You're making me nervous. No, I'm 4 planets in Aries with an Aquarius air ascendant. I talk fast. Hopefully not too fast for you, but you can slow the playback speed down, Taurus. Then Venus will sextile Mars. Well, of course, it's the cosmic lovers having a fun, flirty time. But the area that this happens, March 10th to the 12th in your sky, is your 12th house of foreign lands and travel, education, money from foreign shores, from business endeavors, and dreams at night, and all of that good stuff. And Venus flowing to Mars as he's in your 2nd house of money, earnings, voice, speech, and all of that. Now, you could do a secret backroom thing where you're not telling anybody you're getting plastic surgery on your face. That's very what this looks like for some people. This can also look like you are having secret negotiations for greater financial gain in your career, especially with a woman behind the scenes. This could also look like you're planning to take a trip to go to a foreign land, and you're negotiating the money issues around the cost of that journey, or something like that in a positive way, March the 10th to the 12th. At the same time, around the same zone of time, Mercury sextiles Uranus. That's kind of picking up from this March 6th and 7th when the Sun was sextiling Uranus. Now, Mercury brings home the message, the news, the money, the final say of what may have already been started. So March 6th, 7th may connect very much to the same story on March 10th and 11th. This is definitely a possibility for you that you could have some financial excitement going on here. Definitely looks like, maybe signing a contract, an agreement, or a negotiation finalizing around some kind of financial upswing for you. But it started off as a bit of a surprise maybe on March 6th and 7th, or you could also find that you're doing a lot of email, phone calls around things behind the scenes or to foreign lands and foreign shores to negotiate some kind of money upswing for you. And then Saturn, around the same time, sextiles the goddess of marriage, Juno. Okay, Saturn at 0, Pisces, in your house of friendship, sextiles the marriage goddess at 0, Taurus. This is your house, the house of you. So this can also be committed contracts and agreements. But you may commit to a relationship with somebody who is just a friend. And that could be why things are hidden behind the scenes until Venus moves into the house of you around St. Patrick's Day. So you may be looking at making a hidden relationship, a secret relationship, a publicly known or committed one, or you may be making some kind of contracts and agreements and commitments that have lasting value to do with greater gains for your career, raises and promotions, and favors from friends. On March the 14th, 13th, 14th, Mars will try to clear up some kind of delusion, illusion, and confusion that's happening because of a square to Neptune. Now, Mars did square Neptune twice already in the past, right? Because he's been in your 2nd house since last August, and he's been squaring Neptune, who's been in Pisces, your 11th house since 2011. This could be cutting through the fog of delusion about a friend who you thought was a real friend but may not be, or cutting through a fog of delusion around a situation to do with a group you belong to, losing your faith in some kind of belonging group, quitting the, church, quitting the darshan, quitting the, something or other. Mars likes to quit, cut out, and leave and end. So he's finishing up a longer story that's been playing out for you since August. So you're cutting away from some kind of social group, friendship situation. But he may also be like he really is trying to help you see through the fog of something that could be your rose colored glasses, about a friendship, about a social group, or about some financial gain situations you expected or want to achieve in a career setting. He may be helping you get more realistic about your long range dreams and goals, because Neptune is your fantasies about what you think you can achieve in life. And now that Saturn is here for 3 years, right? March 7th of this year until February of 26, you're getting your dreams to be real, and you're going to be able to realize them, reality check Saturn. And then Mars may also help you clear the fog about some dreams that you've had for your life that in all reality aren't likely to happen. It's like me trying to dream myself into an opera singer career when I can't even carry a tune, right? So wherever your dreams have been delusional, both Mars and I think Saturn are helping you see what's actually accomplishable in your story. And there goes the phone, but I can't cut it out. So sorry if you hear it. It's because I'm in a rental and I can't stop her phone from going. I don't think I should do that. She may be picking up messages off site, the owner. Anything else? Oh, I forgot to talk about this for a couple of signs. Isn't that funny? I'm going to do a whole video on it. But there's the Aries Chiron conjunction to Jupiter. I will bring it up just for you because I have a whole video I'm doing on this and even a webinar on it. But around March the 16th, okay, Jupiter conjuncts Chiron in your 12th house. And this is back to healing yourself, undoing addictions and self-sabotaging habits and patterns. With Chiron, a guide, a mentor, a shaman, a teacher, a therapist, or a coach could really help you get out of your own self-undoing and addictions, okay? So there you go. I should have brushed my hair. It feels really gnarly, Taurus. Then on the 15th to the 17th, you've got the sun coming into a contact with Neptune. This can be a very dreamy, positive, spiritually uplifting vibe where you maybe have some kind of spiritual breakthrough through a social group or friendship circle, or some kind of dream is coming true in one of your visions and goals through the support of a leader figure or somebody in power, solar figure, or that you are channeling or downloading some incredible information, spiritual information. And if you do that channeling, because sextile is your first house, you could download like some ideas that come into your mind that will be visionary, that allow you to create really great wealth or great gains from your career in your life. So that's a really tight little window, right? The 15th to the 17th. So just keep that in mind as well. Oh, and the Mars square Neptune is in play from the 15th all the way to the 19th. So there's a lot going on at the same time here. Sun's conjunct Neptune, Mars square Neptune. It's a bit of a yes, no all at once. And there's also, at the same time, Mercury will be in the heart of the sun. I didn't cover this for everyone because I'm doing another Kazemi webinar, but Mercury will be in the heart of the sun around the same time, 15th to the 17th. And Mercury in the heart of the sun for you, I mean, I'm really fixating here, but I think you could definitely download something. I might encourage you to, especially around the 16th when Mercury is pretty well in the sun, to consider this to be a time to channel, download, get inspired, find some kind of vision. And if you have your rising sign, sun or moon at near 25 degrees of Taurus, it's even more powerful for you to like realize and download some big idea or big thing that could be very good for your finances because of the position of Mars in the money house. And next, we're going to talk about March the 18th. There's a Venus, the Lord of your sky, sextiling Saturn. That's enduring love, enduring beauty, enduring goodness, love that lasts, financial situations that last, beauty that lasts, long-range financial and love stories coming to fruition around March the 18th. On March the 28th, you're going to experience a time in which Mercury co-joins with Jupiter in Aries, which can only happen really like twice every 12 years at most. And Mercury conjunct Jupiter here is saying, okay, we would like you to think about your visions in your imagination or your dreams at night or whatever about how to be prosperous and bountiful, how to be, extra available for some kind of insights from your dreams. I mean, Mercury, the messenger, and Jupiter means good news coming, but from a subtle, subconscious, unconscious place. However, Jupiter can be a teacher, especially one overseas or abroad. Mercury is travel protector. So traveling to see a teacher, spiritual teacher, or getting messages, emails, and phone calls from a spiritual teacher, because Jupiter can bring a spiritual teacher to you all through to the middle of May as he's traveling through your 12th house. Or finally, an opportunity coming out of the blue around March 28th to travel to a foreign shore. And all of that is super exciting. Or finally, great financial bounty through offshore money deals and negotiations and or merchandising and selling all around March the 28th. And then Venus, your Lord, co-joins with Uranus on March the 30th and 31st. Happy money and love surprises out of the blue, left fielders. But it's happening in the house of you. So you're directly in the middle of the storm of this excitement. You may be the one coming up with some kind of incredible aha opportunity, exciting new development, download, pineal gland download, third eye aha, because that's a story that Uranus is quite capable of delivering, that you come up with a new insight or revelation around finances and love. However, it's not necessarily a bad thing because she is your Lord, but I will say that, the tower moment, being shocked by something, can still be what Uranus delivers, but it may be more of a surprise, a positive surprise, because we have, Venus in her dignity co-joining with Saturn to do with things to do with yourself, your identity, your health, your wellness, and all of that. And as the month is finalizing, you'll find Mars, who's been in that money house for quite a while now, right, since last August, flowing towards Saturn. And now Mars is no longer in your money house. He's moved to your third, and he sends flow back over his shoulder to Saturn in Pisces. Now, this is a really cool vibe. It's just as Saturn is going to start a 6-week trip through the house of siblings, the local neighborhood shops and tiendas and stores, and the shorter trips and travel and journeys, or skills-based learning something you need to learn to do, get a license in something. Well, Mars trining Saturn gives you perseverance, discipline, focus, and hard work. But Mars likes to travel, and when he goes to the third house, he's Mr. Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, I find that's true. So I would say also opportunities are opening up around March 31st, maybe add about 4 days before and after, for some kind of auspicious journey that may take you into some kind of a trip for work and greater gains in your career, a trip with a friend or an ally, a trip to see an elder or youngest sibling, or trips involving siblings, because Saturn's in the house of the eldest sibling, and you could construe your third house, your younger sibling. So there's these things going on with the word siblings. It could be active as well. If you have an online business, Mars is moving into the house of your online website and social media stuff, and he's giving you a lot of hard discipline and focus to work with, getting more publicity through groups of people, showing up people's podcasts, having other people share your work, having friends act as allies to promote what you're doing. So for some of the Tauruses who are in that field of endeavor, that looks really, really good, actually. And if you're a writer, Mars will give you the drive, the willpower, and the focus to actually write during the 6-week transit, but it's around March the 31st where he touches down with Saturn. Saturn could be a friend, a book coach, or someone supporting you to dig into the writing that you need to do, and you'll feel that positive energy. March 31st, give it 4 days before and after on either side. And I think I got you covered. I think I covered everything. Not everybody got the same content. That's okay. If, everything that I do on these videos will be done in greater depth. I do not cover the new moon, full moon cycle on the month ahead videos, because I do super in-depth stuff each month for each of those videos on the channel, which is why if you want to subscribe, you'll catch the wind of what asteroids and Sabian symbols and stars are being activated on each new moon, full moon cycle. If you're new to my channel, just a gentle reminder once again to consider subscribing and liking. If you don't like what I do, that's okay. Don't like and subscribe. But if you do, come join me. Only 48% of my regular viewers are already subscribed. If that's one of you who hasn't subscribed yet, why not? You can always unsub. All it means is that it helps my channel grow when you're officially subscribed. Thanks, everybody. Good luck, Taurus. Yay, you. You're getting into the end of that eclipse cycle in July. Things are going to calm down in your life. And Lord Jupiter moves into the house of you in May. And oh my God, are you ever going to do well with that? And go check out my video, Jupiter in Taurus 23, because you are benefiting so greatly. I have a playlist for 2023 big transits, and you are going to love your life mid-May of this year to mid-May of 24. All right, just a little forward teaser for you. Big hugs, and thank you so much for listening.